Hello and welcome back to Italia. Just cleaning up the mess that the cows have made with this brand new mod that I found, which is technically like the brushes that I have been using in previous episodes and also in previous series. But the difference is it's now actually part of your like in your toolkit, as I call it. So you know your handheld tools that you can switch between. You've now got a brush that you can obviously activate like you would with the chainsaw or anything else. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I don't need to buy multiple brushes anymore. I can just buy the one and then sweep up wherever I'm at. So yeah, I like it a lot. Alright, so in this episode what we're going to be doing is some serious planting. We're going to be planting in field 26, 25, but we're also going to be doing some lime in field 48 because we've still got the spreader on lease, so we need to get that done so we can obviously send it back so it's not costing us anymore. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to do field 26 manually. I'm going to use a bit of GPS though on that one, and then on field 25 we're going to set a course play with the Fiat Agri to plant the canola. Now originally I did want to put corn in field 26 as replacement for green corn, but there's been a few updates to the map and green corn is now accessible whilst in this time of season. So before originally it was only available around at the first point, but you could never get the temperature up to 5 degrees, so it was always something that I had to plant probably over winter. It's the same with Challenging, but luckily he's updated the map and now we can obviously plant all the way up till pretty much midsummer, and then harvest is around late summer, early and mid-autumn. So we're going to do that. We're going to plant green corn because I do want to try it out. It's a new crop type, so I am interested to see what it's all about. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go and set up the Fiat Agri, and I also want to show you something different with the tractor, the Lamborghini tractor, not the Spark, the other one. So if we just drop that off here, we don't need that. Swing her around. There we go. So you can probably look at the Lamborghini and it looks a bit different. That's because I've gone with the same type of tractor, exactly the same, but it's got a different skin on it. It's now a same tractor and it's called the Super Titan. And the reason for that is I got a comment in my first video on this series saying, just giving me some idea of some Italian equipment. We mentioned about the Merlot being a good brand. I did want to put a Merlot in, but then I was thinking I've already got that on Challenger Valley as the Italianer I use there, so I didn't want to use that. And he mentioned the fact that Same was an Italian brand, so I thought instead of having two Lamborghinis we may as well have a Same and a Lambo and a Fiat, and then we've got three different types of tractor, three different Italian brands, and to be honest I do like the red colour. I think it's pretty cool. No price difference, exactly the same amount of money, so nothing's changed really. The only thing that's probably changed is the fact that it's now got less hours on the clock. So yeah, pretty cool. Right, so let's carry on with this. We don't need the planter, we need the seeder for this. We're going to be using the planter. So let's get hooked up and we'll set it all going. Now we do need to buy some seeds, so I'm going to send it down to the shop to actually buy canola seeds. We did buy soybeans, but then I had a change of heart and decided that I wanted soybeans. Now I'm just looking at the width of it. It should be okay going down to the shop like that. So let's set an AutoDrive. We'll send him down to the shop, and then when he's there we can purchase what we need to get. So I think what I'll do quickly is I'll set up the planter to the same tractor, which is the one that we're going to be using. And then we need to go down to I call it the machinery yard. It's only a little place where I've actually got generic seeds that we can use for the green corn, because obviously we can't buy green corn pallets yet, seed pallets. Wow. I need to keep an eye on the width of this. I think I might have clipped something on the way coming out there. So I'm thinking we might have to go round at some part, because there is there's some posts around here, so we need to Probably go around that bit there. Luckily I do own that field, so it's not like it's an issue. Right, so first things first, we're going to put fertiliser and seed into this because it can do both. There we go. Got it in the end. So we want to open the cover, and then I think the first one's seed, which is the one that's open. That's it. And then we want to go a little bit further back. Probably about there. Open the other cover, and then maybe there we go. That's it. So that's all set up. We don't have to worry about that now. I think what I'll quickly do now is I'll jump to the shop and we'll get this pallet sorted out because he's just about getting there. As you can hear the classic Fiat Agri engine roaring. So let's just buy quickly a pallet of canola seeds, which is somewhere eventually. There she is. One will do. Shouldn't need any more. So we'll let that fill up, and then while it's doing that, what I'll quickly do is we'll start up Courseplay. We may as well just do this straight away. Field 25, let's go 3 headlands. In fact, I'll go 4, because I don't trust the turning sometimes. Put that up. It's only 3 meters, so it's going to take probably a while to do this, as you can tell. So that's that done. And then what we want this to do is we want it to go to field 25. And to make sure we click that, start Courseplay at destination. And then we'll just swing him around because I don't want him to go over the edge, and he might do that actually. Looks like that clips through. See the texture there? So he should now head off to field 25 and automatically start the Courseplay that we've set up. Got 2 bags left, is that it? 2 bags. Just make sure he's working alright, he seems to be fine. Or she does. Right, so what we're going to do with the Spark, the Lambo Spark, we're going to set up a Courseplay on this to do the lime in this field. But also what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and append another course into it where it refills itself. Now, having tested this out on other maps, it doesn't work very well with big bags, and that's all we've got. So what we might have to do is put a part point in where it manually just waits, and then we might have to move the big bags close to it. Because if I line the big bags up here, which is what I'm tended to do, it should trigger to them. But what happens is after it fills up one, it then doesn't obviously fill up the next one, and so on. So it can just sit there waiting. But we can obviously get around that, so we just have to move the big bags to it. Sometimes also what it does is it kind of thinks it's in traffic or thinks it's going to collide with it. So instead of it following its path, it just deviates slightly off it. And by doing that, it then misses the trigger even more. So I think what we're going to do is just first, can we hear the agri? We can definitely hear the agri. It's such a distinct sound. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Probably not the best for recording, but really good. He's had an issue. What's he done? Did he miss the corner? He's definitely had an issue here. What are you doing? Let's just start him off again. I don't know what he was doing. I know this is like Spaghetti Junction here. You can see for yourself. It really is like Spaghetti Junction. he should have swung around at this part. And I did that like this. You might think, well, how many dots do you need? But it's because of the apexes. I know what's happened. He's clipped that. So as he's tried to go around that apex with him having something on the rear, it doesn't allow him to turn all the way. It stops him there. So then he carries on, and then by the time he's turned, he's hit the wall. So at least we know what it is. Nothing we can do about that. Yeah, the reason I have so many of them is because of turning angles. I try and do them all with the trailer on the rear, and what it does is it means that a lot of the time, except that time, you don't have collisions like that. Well, going around corners with something on the rear. Anyway, so let's just start that off. He is on that. We'll just sit with him just to make sure he starts. We're doing alright for time so far. Do want to keep this within the 30-minute mark. That's my aim. So we should turn into this field now, and he should automatically go to the first point just over there. And if he starts, I'll set up the line. Maybe it might have been a good idea to get some form of front weight. We can't attach one on, but we could probably modify the Fiat itself to have one on. Right, so is it field 25? As just stated, he now needs to, we can turn that bit off now, he now needs to go to the first point, which he's already done. He's kind of just cracked on with it, which is fine. Yep, he's happy. We'll leave him to it. He's planting the canola anyway. I think what he's done though is missed the first row. So what he's done is he's started from where he ended off that first row. So we'll probably just have to finish off that first row. That can be avoided. At least I know for next time. I'll make sure that next time that doesn't happen. Right, so we want to get into the telehandler, and we need to unload these first. Now this telehandler, this front bag lifter on the front, I'm not going to lie, I do want to swap out. I'm not too keen on the ones that you automatically attach to. It just becomes an issue. They swing about and fly about, and yeah, it's not the best. This is going to be difficult. As you saw there, that's why I don't like them. So we will swap this out at some point. Right, so we've done that. I've put that to the side. Well, let's get into the Lambo, and what we'll do is we'll go to the middle of the field. So what I'm basically trying to do here is I'm trying to do a refill course to put inside the course of field 48, and the reason for that is it's the least piece of kit. So obviously I've got 34% lime in that. It's not going to be enough to do this, so we need him to refill. Now it would be perfect if he did it all on his own, but because I'm using big bags, it's probably not going to be likely, but it can help us out, as in we don't have to drive to the refill point. It will be a lot smoother. To do that, you need to obviously create your course like you would normally do. So if I could just quickly show you in Courseplay what my plan is. So field 48, I'm going to do, let's say, 2 headlands. We'll up this to 18 meters, which is what it is, and we'll create the course. Now we need to make sure we save this, or else it won't work. So you need to have a saved course. So we'll call it field 48 lime 18 meters. We'll save that. We'll close that down, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually record a course. Now I always suggest doing this in the middle of the field. The reason for that is, imagine if I just bring my mouse up, imagine if he's down here and he runs out of line, and your start point is around, let's say there, he's going to drive straight through the trees. If he's in the middle of the field and he runs out there, he can always get to this point in the same all around. So it's always a good point to use your start point of this refill course in the field you're obviously doing it in. Always in the middle, and the end always in the middle, or it can be in the edge, as long as it's like somewhere that you can get to from all corners of the field itself. So with that being said, we'll start off Now, even though I'll try and get as close as I can to this, you'll see that obviously the cover manually lift up on its own, automatically, sorry, lift up on its own like it has done there. What I'll do just in case is I'll put a park in. Just like that. And then what we need to do, just get rid of my mouse so I can move the camera around. And just basically drive back to where we started. So you could do this at anything. You could do it for seeds, solid fertilizer, liquid fertilizer. As long as you've got somewhere on the map, you can do this. This will work. And it's a lot better if you've got an actual refill point where he buys the actual type from, or use it. You know, you go into settings sometimes as well, and you can have your helper refill all to on. Well, obviously if you turn it to off, this is another way of doing it where it's more realistic. It's like having a worker that'll obviously go and refill. So it's pretty much the same, just without automatically refilling it and paying as he's doing it. So we stop it now, and we're going to save that. I'm going to call that field 48 lime fill. That should be fine. We'll save it. So we close that down. So then we need to go to manage courses. We open up the 18 meter spread one first, and then we need to press the plus folder, which is the append symbol, and as it says here at the bottom, it'll say append course at the end, and then it should say now 2 combined courses. And if we just click this, you'll be able to see that even though it's saying at the end of the course he'll go and do this, that's not the way it's working. Basically what it's saying is if he runs out, he'll go and start this course and he'll end there and then carry on from where he's obviously ran out from. The only other thing we need to do is we need to go to vehicle specific settings, and we need to go to add new fill type, and then we need to change this to lime, press start. Now I am going to adjust the maximum. I'm going to adjust the maximum to I think 35%, just because of the fact it's a leased piece of kit. I don't want it to obviously fill up if it doesn't need to, just because I'm going to have to empty it anyway then before we send it back. And I think the minimum should be 10%, I'll say, because they are big bags after all, and this holds quite a lot. So now what we need to do is we'll give him a little helping hand by going to the first waypoint, which is just down here I think. Just turn that off. That should be fine. There you go. So now he's going to start that course. We'll keep checking on him. We'll see how it gets. We've got to wait anyway until he's obviously used that 30% he's got, but I'll come back and check on him. So we'll obviously go and crack on now with our job. So I'm going to be using GPS. I'll do 2 headlands just for it makes it easier for me to turn around, and then I'll start doing the rows after. Definitely tight. I mean, I should probably think of getting a better one, where a better planter where we're not actually worried about hitting things, because if I couldn't send this on an AutoDrive with this span, it just wouldn't do very well at all. Right, so we need to make sure we change it to green corn. There we go. Lower it down, set it going, and off we go. So it shouldn't take too long to do field 26. It's not the biggest size field in the world, and it is good size, but it's not the biggest, so it shouldn't take too long. Now, looks like the worker in the Fiat's doing well anyway. He's cracking on. Now we are putting fertiliser on the ground, so I'm intrigued to see how much it's adding. It's adding quite a lot. It's putting us up to about 160, maybe 180, something like that. So that is a lot. So that's a good sign. It means that it is definitely in line, the green corn is, where corn is on precision farming. Pretty much exactly the same. There we go, I forgot to turn it on. But we are being quite productive in this episode. We're pretty much planted everything we can plant in these two fields, and we're also doing the lime, so hopefully by the end of this episode we'll have done quite a bit. I'll probably need to put it on a time lapse soon, just because of the fact that it's going to go over the 30-minute mark. I have been recording for around 30 minutes now. Getting close to 25 actually, sorry. So I'll put it on a time lapse soon. We will just check on the actual worker who's spreading the lime before we do that, just to make sure everything's working fine. Right, so he's obviously ran out. He knows that he's got to go to his other course. He's going to the first waypoint of that, which is just there. Hopefully what will happen then is he will move over to close enough to the big bags. That's what I'm hoping anyway. If he doesn't, we'll just have to manually pick them up and put them there. So he is going 6 miles an hour for some reason though. I don't know why that is, but it doesn't matter. I don't think I've set anything to... Maybe he was just trying to get up the hill. I don't know. So what should happen now is, as you can tell, he's moving a little bit away from it. He's definitely gone to the left. Now he is refilling, but what you'll find will happen now is, after he's filled up from this big bag, he probably won't hit his maximum, and that's where he wants to be. So he stopped. So what we need to do now is just push one of these forward. Keep doing that until he hits where he wants to be, which is, I think, was it 35, 40%? I can't remember what I did now. So he wants another one. Well, hopefully we'll actually have enough. So there you go, so he's hit his maximum. He's now going to carry on, and he will return back to the point from where he stopped. So at least it's working. Right, so what I'll do now, just to keep the video on the shorter side, is I'll put this on a time lapse of me finishing this whole field, and you'll probably see me go and check on the driver who's trying to spread the lime in field 48, just to make sure he's getting through it and he doesn't need any more. Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully we've got enough. But yeah, I'll put it on a time lapse and then I'll cut back in when it's all done.
Coming back, coming back. 2 hours on the
Right, so there we go, fully planted. All the green corn is in the field, and I think the guy in the Fiat is progressing just as well. He's probably about halfway through. If we just go to this one, it's probably the best one. Yeah, so he's about halfway through. The guy ran out of lime as well. Just this little tiny strip here. So I'll have to finish that off. Get myself another bag of lime. I might buy a few because at the end of the day we're going to need it at some point again in the future. And then I'll finish that off anyway, and I'll part this up as well. But yeah, overall pretty good. Done 3 fields technically. He's still doing that one, and we're nearly done the lime at 48. It'll take 1 second to do that. It's not an issue. But yeah, pretty productive episode, and I think it shows as well how good Courseplay, GPS and AutoDrive are, and if you're using them all together, you really can get quite a lot done. But I'm going to leave the video there, so thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. And also, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe for more videos on Farming Simulator. See ya.